Places that do not announce themselves. No gates, no ticket booths, no roads, just a ridge in the sky and a pile of stones. And the view is so violent in its beauty, it feels like a secret that mountains were keeping until now. This is Mardi Himal Base Camp. Not a camp really, but there are a few tents, a bit of permanent structures, flags that are planted by expeditions. Just a narrow saddle of grass and rocks perched on the edge of Annapurna Sanctuary. And from this single point, on a clear morning, you can see five of the most beautiful mountains on Nepal without turning your head. But getting here is not a tour, it's a negotiation with altitude, cold, and with your own expectation of what it means to stand at the top. Hello and welcome to this video.
Should I get?
The approach begins at high camp, where the trees have already given up and the year has begun to thin. But the real threshold is the ridge, a spine of earth barely wide enough for two people to pass, falling away on both sides into a valley you cannot see and swallowed by the mist. You feel it immediately. The trail demands attention. One distracted step and you're not injured, you're gone. The wind comes in punches, the altitude wraps you around your chest like a belt, tightening one notch at a time. And yet, every time you look up, Machhapuchhre is there, closer now, impossibly steep. A wall of rock and ice that seems to lean over the trail, watching you come. This is the last comfortable place. From here, the mountain stops being polite. The night before, sleep at the high camp is a fiction. The altitude makes your heart race. You wake up every hour, gasping slightly, checking your watch. Outside, the wind tests the roof. Inside, someone coughs. Someone else turns into their sleeping bag. The crunch of down nylon impossibly loud. But if you step outside, the cold is worth it. The stars says 3,580 meters do not twinkle, they burn. Fixed and steady, and somewhere in the darkness, the ridge you'll climb tomorrow waits like a sleeping animal. The wake-up call comes at 4. There is no hot shower, no espresso machines, just the rituals of layers, thermal, flash, down, windproof, until you feel like an astronaut preparing for a launch, because in a way you are. Because the summit push is not about distance, it's about elevation and the belief that what waits above the ridge is worth the suffering it takes to reach there. Okay, now the climb. The first hour is pure sensation. You cannot see the drop-offs, but you feel them in the wind. You cannot see the peaks, but you feel their mass in the darkness ahead. The only word is the circle of light from your headlamp. 3 meters of trail, loose stone, frozen grasses. But at this hour, your body wants to be in bed. Your lungs are working at 40% efficiency. Every 20 steps you take, you stop, you listen. And in the silence, you begin to hear something else. Not the wind, not your heartbeat, but the mountain themselves. The distant groan of ice shifting on Annapurna South. The cracks breaking free somewhere in the darkness or far away sounds like a gunshot that echoes for 10 seconds. Then, around 5:30, the sky begins to change. Not quickly, not like a tropical dawn, but slowly, almost grudgingly, as if the night is being peeled back one layer at a time. And that is when you see the silhouette, Macchapuchhre, 6,993 meters of sacred stone. No one has ever stood on its summit. The Gurung people believe it is the home of Lord Shiva, and from this angle, in this half light, it is easy to believe the god lived there. And now you are closer. The trail stiffens, the air thins further, but the cold that was biting an hour ago has become irrelevant because the skies will open soon. Now let's talk about the reveal. As you move up, there is no more up because it's only across. And the journey begins from there actually. The race flattens into a narrow saddle, and suddenly the world is not in front of you, it is around you. It is the way to Mardi Himal Base Camp, which is not a summit and maybe not a destination on most maps, but a front row seat to the greatest geological theater on earth, if you like it. To your left, Annapurna First, which is 1,091 meters, which is also the 10th highest mountain in the world, and its south faces a sheer wall of ice, and sadly, it has killed more climbers than it has forgiven. Beside it, there's Annapurna South, rounded and massive, catching the first ray of sun like a burning ember. Hiunchuli guarding the entrance to the sanctuary, its ridges sharp as broken glass, and there, the center stays Machhapuchhre, Fishtail, its twin summits catching light that has not yet reached the valley below. There is a moment that happens here. It happens to almost everyone. Your eyes take in too much, your brain cannot process the scale, and something in you, some wall you did not know you had built, simply dissolves. You do not feel small, you feel accurate. You feel like a human being in the right proportion to the planet. The sunrise is not fast, it is a seek. The light attacks the peak methodically. First Hiunchuli, then Annapurna South, then the great face of Annapurna First, and finally, gloriously, Macchapuchhre. Each mountain igniting in sequence like candle being lit in a cathedral. The cathedral. People ask what you do at the base camp, and the answer is nothing. You sit, you breathe, you try to memorize something that cannot be memorized. You take pictures knowing they might fail. You watch a cloud form and dissipate against Machhapuchhre's west face in less time than it actually takes to drink a cup of tea. The air is so thin that sound behaves strangely. A sound from 200 meters away arrives as a whisper, and the flap of a snow pigeon wings is audible. And in the distance, the low thunder of an avalanche, harmless from here maybe, but a reminder that these mountains are not scenery. They are processed and they are still being built, and they do not care that you came to look at them. Some people live offering a stone of the cane, a string of prayer flags, a few grain of rice, not for the gods necessarily, but for the mountains, a thank you, a receipt. Also, an acknowledgement that you were allowed to stand here in this place for 1 hour or more of a one morning, and that it changed something, maybe it changed something in you. The walk down is faster, the gravity helps. The sun warms your back, you pass the climbers who are still going up, their faces set in the same mask of determination you were 1 hour ago. And you want to tell them, wait, just wait. The last 10 minutes are the hardest, but the view? But you don't, because they would not believe you, and because something must be earned to be understood. Mardi Himal Base Camp is not the highest place in Nepal. Also, it is not the most difficult one. It will never make the cover of National Geographic, but this is exactly its power. It is a secret kept at 4,500 meters, a ridge where the world falls away. And what remains is stone, light, and the strange, humbling knowledge that the planet was here long before you arrived and will remain long after you leave, indifferent, immortal, and utterly beautiful. If you go, go early, before the trail might become a road, Go while it still costs something. Because the best views are not the one you see, but they are the one you earn. Thank you, and I hope you really liked this video and I hope it helped. Bye.